What up, American Horror Story cult fans? Stick around because we are talking about American Horror Story Cult, Season 7, Episode 4, 11/9.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey there, American Horror Story fans!
Hey guys!
We're back! Woohoo!
Yeah!
The crew is back. We're here talking about American Horror Story Cult, Season 7, Episode 4, 11/9. I'm your host, Alana Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan and on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl. And sitting next to me...
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Holly Weirdo.
Hey guys, it's Ashley Allen here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley Reed Allen.
And I am Sanders Kennedy. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Just Sans World.
Awesome. So this episode, they're finally diving in a little bit. I feel like the first 3 episodes was just kind of giving us a little, almost like a little poo-poo platter of the world. Just like, hey, everything has gone nuts. Yeah. Things have gone crazy town banana pants.
Yeah.
You're all just going to be confused for a while.
Oh, yeah.
This episode, they're starting to piece things together,
Yeah.
which I think that's good on the writer's part. I feel like if this had been another episode of I don't know how any of this is connected,
Yeah.
I think I just would have been like, all right, I'm done. But I think they did a pretty good job this episode of kind of actually laying it out. It was all chronological. We had some jump backs where we got different stories, but it all kicks off the day before the election.
Oh, yes.
We see, actually election day is when we kick off, as we see everybody in line, lining up for it, and we see little, indicators of what's to come for each of these characters. But I gotta say, I felt like some of this dialogue felt a little forced. What did you guys think?
You want to know my real opinion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this episode. I kept it all in. They didn't know how I felt. I actually loved it. I felt like it was meaty. I loved the backgrounds of it. This is what I was waiting for. Questions were answered. I loved it. Keep on going with this. Thank you.
Same. I like this episode. It wasn't my favorite one, but I definitely...
Out of the 4?
Out of the 4. It was not my favorite one.
Which one was your favorite?
I would say episode 2.
Oh,
Episode 2 was kind of my favorite. But I did like this episode. I liked how, like you said, we got answers. You kind of show how everybody's connected in some way. And I kind of got the answer to why Winter is still there.
Why Winter has not been iced out?
Yep.
I told
finally.
you from
Now we
day
know.
one there's something up with Ivy.
Yeah.
I
I mean, Ivy has been we've kind of thought that she was in this cult kind of from the beginning, but now we're seeing a little bit more. The only thing that I don't get is we've had a lot of questions answered this episode.
That's what I
We're
was wondering.
only on episode 4.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Because we know
could
we
wrap
go
up
from
this
here?
whole season next
They
week
literally
if we wanted
stopped
to.
filming 2 days ago.
Yeah,
they
it's
finished
so,
the episode.
They
The season.
They
literally
finished the
finished.
season. They finished the season, which another thing that I do like, and that I will say props to them, is that this season they seem to have actually had kind of an overarching thing, whereas other seasons we've seen even in interviews and things where they're like, well, we don't know what's going to happen next. We're still writing it. We're still figuring it out. And it's like, you shouldn't be doing that when the show is airing. You should already know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling like they have an idea. I just want to know where the hell they're going to take it, because I feel like we could wrap up this whole thing and have all the questions answered by next week if we really
Is it
wanted.
going to be like every 3 episodes, it's going to be line up the questions, and on the 4th one, it's going to be here's the answers? Like, they kind of revealed. I like that they revealed a lot, but I feel like they revealed a little bit too much. It's like, we all know who the gang is. We all know how the mask came to be. Meadow drew the pic. Like, we all know every little piece. It's
Every
like,
detail.
let us...
Well, we don't know why Winter trusts Kai, because they're both...
Well, we see.
Well,
she
aren't
even
they
says
siblings?
where she says.
Oh, are they? Because I was thinking
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
okay.
she even says that her main goal is to take a powerful person and rise them to power and support them. So she is even taking, like, that's even been her idea, her goal,
Yeah.
since before the election results we see. So it makes sense in the way that they've tied it all together, but it seems like all the episodes up to this point has been like, what? Okay. And I'm like, if it's going to be what, okay, over and over and over and over again, I don't know if I'm going to be into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I have to admit that a lot of it was predictable. Even though I did love it, I knew that Vinny, the boss at the workout center, was going to die, and I knew that he was going to die by the weights. Just by, he was like, go big or go home or something.
Go heavy.
Go heavy or go home. And I knew like he's going to get smashed in the face with a weight, just like in Final Destination.
So basically, he said, "Go heavy or go home," and you went, "Just wait."
Yep. I got it.
You're welcome.
It took a second.
I'm sorry.
Good one.
No, the only thing this one. Okay, now when I say that I felt the dialogue was a little forced, for me it was the beginning. Meadow talking about in line. Who am I to vote? I could vote for the Emmys, but I'm not informed enough to be deciding who's president. And I feel like anybody who is actually taking the time out of their day to get in line and actually vote at a polling place isn't going to verbalize that.
Yeah.
Where that might be true, I feel like it would have come across better if somebody else had said it.
Like an 18-year-old voting for the first time.
Right, and I feel like her just being that self-aware, we haven't really seen that. I mean, we later see her trying desperately to bang her gay husband, which
only worked twice.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2 times too many. I don't understand how that works. I'm
Yeah.
like, how's
Probably
that fun for you,
alcohol or
Harrison?
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
I think he has more fun cleaning up the jizz in the shower.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just like, how is she this? We haven't seen any of this self-awareness from her, so that line just felt very out of
Her
context
character just
for me.
seems unreal to me too, because how she
Yeah.
walks in and sees this dead body is like, oh, this is as if my life couldn't get worse. Like that,
Yeah.
no normal
And-
person's gonna react to that like that.
Well, she
maybe
also
it's just
was
her
like,
personality.
I'll bang you for a blunt. I was like,
And I was about to say that blunt is not that strong for her to
No!
not have, like you said, some sort of reaction to seeing that. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy.
yeah.
But
I'm like, you can't take 2 hits off of a cheap blunt from some
Yeah.
rando
See,
at
I-
the
hotel pool.
hotel
Yeah, I was gonna
pool
say,
and
like,
then
I-
just be like, I'm cool with murder.
Exactly. It's like I never smoked weed in my life. I don't know what it does to you, but I know that it doesn't take you from walking
shouldn't.
10 feet to be like, oh my God, what's going on?
yeah.
It makes you
feel-
see people being murdered, and you're totally fine with it.
It's exactly like Reefer Madness.
It's exactly like that.
Never mind.
I just feel like in past episodes, she's always come off as like strong and like sure of herself. And this episode, we see basically the total opposite. She seems depressed. She's not happy. They're broke. Like,
Yeah, it's very inconsistent. Where
they
it's
also-
like,
Well, that's why it's like that, because you have to
This is
rewind
the real
before they
her.
got their new house.
house,
So
right.
they were probably already torn down, and now that she's probably beneficially part of the cult, she got confident. So that's why
Right.
she is acting the way she is.
but it's like, it just seems like if it was, she's super self-aware. She knows, her own limitations. She knows that she shouldn't be voting. She's,
Well, also
verbalizing all
she-
this thing. But then it cuts into later. Then we have her whole breakdown. Time-wise, it's still going out of order because she's super strong, super confident. She's nothing,
Yeah.
and then her confidence is raised again. It just seems it's not. That's the one character that I feel like the writers were like, we need to get this line in. We need to make sure that everybody knows that here's our message, that we as a whole, nobody has it right, the left or the right. Anybody who thinks they have it right, none of us are informed enough. And I get that that's what they're going for. Don't have that character say it because it took me out of it.
Well, also, she's very, like, sloppily written because, like, she just throws out she had melanoma and was assaulted at a crafts shop.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's just saying, oh, she's fucked up, so
that
just
one
don't
isn't-
trust her. She's, like, wacky.
No, that I think was another thing where they were trying to make this another character, like kind of caricature of the everyman, and they're making Meadow be kind of the, the stereotypical pumpkin
Wife.
spice.
I thought she was just trying to
latte-chugging
play victim.
Woman named Meadow.
That's what I
but it's
thought.
saying, basically women are sexually harassed in jobs constantly.
But-
they're forced to quit, and it's like she had
Well,
melanoma.
melanoma
Hold
is
on,
like
let me
a
finish.
serious- Yeah.
Because I'm getting to that. But melanoma, on top of that she throws in, she's saying that she didn't have the health care to have all of she lost all of their money because she didn't have that that wasn't covered. That's the writer saying, here's our reference to healthcare, here's our reference to sexual harassment, here are the pre-Trump things that we're saying, this is how this existed before, people just weren't highlighting it, and they were saying it in casual conversation. It was an intentional thing, but I'm saying they use that character to say all of these everyman things.
So
and I don't...
Is it the delivery that you're not feeling, or
No, it's
is
the
it-
writing. she's an amazing actress. It's that the writers literally give every one-off line of here is our message for the general man to her.
Yeah, I noticed
Okay.
that.
And it doesn't, and it because of that, it makes her feel like she's not a dynamic character.
Okay.
And when you have an actress that good, and all of the actors on the show are that good, you need to make sure that every bit of material that you're giving them is something that feeds the show and also feeds that character, not making it go against each other. If that makes sense. I don't know.
It makes
That's-
sense to me.
It's
But
kind of like the only character that
I'm
I
just
feel
trying-
like.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see her as maybe she's just that ditzy character with a split personality. That's how I'm trying to form it in my head and not really dissect it, because then I'll be annoyed by it. It's just like, it's just part of the character.
I think they just give her too much stuff, and it's like, how are you not reacting to all the stuff that you've lived your life with? Like, because she had melanoma and was assaulted, and she just like, I don't think she's that good an actress, or like, I don't think the writing is as good because she should be reacting more, or are they giving her an excuse to be like, oh, that's why she's so like strong and then like
I think
weak
the thing
and then
is
strong.
that these lines aren't about her character, and that's why they don't fit. Is because it's about society in
Yeah.
general, and
Yeah.
they're giving these general society lines, and they're forcing them into her backstory, and they're giving her one line to
She's basically
say all of this stuff.
Yeah,
It's an
she's
impossible
basically
situation.
like the community, and like she's everybody and
Yeah.
everything.
She is every girl in Lululemon buying pumpkin spice named Meadow. They're all caricatures. That's like
Yeah.
Kai is the extreme far right. Allie is the, the super scared far left, freaking out. And then we have all of these other characters that are kind of peppered through.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool seeing, how we get the setup with the voting booth, but then going into Harrison and Kai's dynamic, and that Kai has just been stalking him, basically, and
Yeah.
asked for him so that he could prey upon him.
Well, I knew that's who he is. He preys upon the weak, and then makes them feel powerful by making them think they're actually doing it when they were actually told to do something.
Right. And I must say, Kai is very convincing. Like, he does a really good job of getting people's fears out of them and giving them the balls to do something that they probably never would want to or would do on their own.
Exactly.
I want to know how though. Like, he doesn't seem that like intimidating to me for him to just be like, do it, come on, you could, and like killing Vinny.
Well, he's super smart.
I don't think it's about intimidation. I think he's playing on their fears and he's playing on their emotions, and he's giving them confidence, and that's what it is.
He knows the triggers he knows what strings to pull on them, and being that he did say he's like really educated, he might be really educated in psychology and knows what buttons to push on people.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
a
mean-
master manipulator.
I don't know if he's that educated though, because he said he's like a part of something bigly.
Well, no, that was a Trump
Trump reference.
Oh,
yeah.
Because that was 100% a Trump
Yeah,
reference,
Trump.
because
Okay.
that's Trump's go-to word,
Word,
is
okay.
bigly. So that's why they said it, is it wasn't like
Like
a
a-
knock on his intelligence. It was an intentional, I am leading, which we're seeing now that we thought initially Kai was this like diehard Trump supporter, which we are seeing, and that is the case, but he's using it as fuel for his own power.
Yeah.
It's not because he actually believes in Trump's message, it's
Right.
because he goes, oh, this will get enough people riled up that then I can step in and say, I will be your savior.
Yeah.
I
Basically.
really liked, and by the way, we love when you guys tweet us. So tweet us, let us know all of your ideas and your opinions on everything. But Mr. Devereaux, who has sent us several tweets as well.
Yo, he went
digging
wild.
everything. Yeah, I'm loving it. But he said,
I didn't get anything.
so get on it, Devereaux, come on. Evan Peters is pulling the political version of Finn Wittrock's seduction and Hotel. I love that. I feel like that's 100. He is like channeling Finn Wittrock in Hotel, like 100% in this one, where he's got like
Okay.
that kind of suave manipulation thing, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of this charm that
I don't know if he's suave.
I think he is.
I think
Because he
he's
knows
just
how to
very
turn it on.
direct.
Yeah.
He's very
But he knows-
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knows also when to cut through bullshit. Like when Vinny sent
Oh, yeah.
Harrison over and he's like, hey man, you need to get him to spend more money. And he's talking to him like, here's you before. Look at your pecs. Look at your quads. Why are you talking to me like that, douchebag, Vinny?
Yeah.
And then with
Yeah.
Beverly, when she's like, it's great to see you again, Bob, or it's whatever. And he's like, nah. He like replayed it. And it's like, nah,
Well,
that's
it's
not your real
because-
voice.
Well, yeah. Well, because
Well,
he's
he's like,
wondering
where
where
did she-
where
yeah,
was
where
she?
she,
Yeah.
where
Where
was
were
It's
she?
great to see you again, Bob. It's great to be back.
Yeah,
So
Be
where
Back, yeah.
were you?
Yeah.
Which also was that one was a little too on the nose with the auto-tune. Like, and I like when they throw in the little comedic reliefs. And I get that this was like an internet commentary thing where it's like, you take all these serious situations and then the general public dicks up there's all these serious murder things. This is somebody's life that's lost and somebody's jumping in, yelling, grab him by the pussy, and then she starts beating the holy tar out of
Didn't
him.
they do an auto-tune thing last season?
They did. They've done auto-tune
Yeah.
things a couple times.
And it's like we get, that was 10 years ago. What's his face? Hide your kids, hide your wife. Let it go.
Yeah, yeah.
But people still keep auto-tuning weird shit. And I feel like that's Ryan Murphy's like commentary. Is like, you're sick of seeing this? Cool, me too.
Yeah.
I think they're
stop
really
doing it, internet.
And they're really playing on the hip words of like stay woke. I'm like, it's like I know like by them using those terms, I know it's gonna become unpopular probably after the season, which I'm thankful for. But it's like it's just like when your parents do, and it's like it's not cool anymore.
It feels
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
Scream Queens to me this season. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
the issue that I have is it feels like Scream Queens went away and then the writers were like, wasn't it fun when we were super like kitsch with our murdery things? Let's do that this season in American Horror Story.
Yeah, because
And
I
I
felt like
don't-
American Horror Story was very serious. There was
Yeah.
no laughs. It was just
Yeah.
like,
There wasn't like all of this kind of kitschy and when Emma Roberts showed up playing,
yeah.
which was basically Serena, who
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is just 100%. Like you just came right out of the sorority and then got this job. Like they told her to play it pretty much like the same
Yeah.
character. I thought for sure this was going to be a long-running rivalry that we see go out several episodes. I was wrong.
Once I saw it was guest starring Emma Roberts, I was like, she's not gonna last. You gotta read those credits, baby.
there you
Will
go.
I give you credit for that one?
So wait, can we rewind? What did you guys think about Kai and Harrison? Harrison, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kai
On
and
the
Harrison.
gym in the shower.
Yeah,
That was
what was the point?
The jacket scene?
yeah.
I didn't mind that.
I just
Because I try to look between the lines, and it's like, you know what? You have to go clean up some jizz, so I'm going to leave some for you. But I'm going to clean it up for you, so I'm doing you a favor. Now you have to do me a favor kind of thing.
Okay, but the lines we want to read between aren't lines of jizz. That's the issue.
it's not. And
I
then,
think they might have to even it out with their gay and straight audience of like, pussy, 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 jizz, jizz, jizz.
But they didn't even show his abs because he was.
love you right now. I just feel like that should be like the chant of this whole show.
I'm just going to take that clip and put it on my Instagram.
American
I was
Horror
just
Story.
like, okay, I don't know.
Like, you didn't really
didn't-
understand the piece where
I
we're
just didn't
connected.
think it was really necessary. I feel
Yeah,
like.
that's what I feel like
Because,
every.
I mean, I understand that where they were getting at with like the whole label situation, but I just felt like it was just a little bit too much. Just a little bit. I don't know.
I feel
American
like
Horror Story was too much.
Well, it's because in seasons past, every single action, whether it was something super far out, whether it was really gory or really sexual or gross or whatever it made you feel, there was a purpose, and each scene had some sort of meaning.
Yeah.
Whether it was either something to set up for something else, or it was an allegory to some horror movie, or it was a reference to a
Yeah.
trope.
Yeah,
This
you're,
was just
you're
like-
right about that, because when watching the episode, there are some scenes where you're like, I could have went to the bathroom and came back and didn't miss anything.
Yeah. I could have gone to the
But
bathroom and
other
just in the shower and
seasons, it's
come
like,
back.
no, I need to watch every single second or I'm all the way off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it just, I don't know. I feel like this one, they were like, let's do something about the election. And this one should have been a short series almost. Like, I feel like they're ready to wrap this up. And I feel like since we've already had a lot of filler and we're only 4 episodes in, I want, and I never would think that I would ask for this, I want a B storyline. I want another storyline. I want something to fill it.
There has to be another storyline, because this storyline's going to be coming to an end in, what, another 2 episodes?
I'm
Yeah.
worried that they're going to do what they did for Roanoke. How last season they had the whole first half was all
It was like
one
3
thing.
parts.
Yeah, and then the second half
was, yeah.
was a whole separate thing. And that one they actually titled separately. They even had it like the reality show programming, and they made it separate. But I feel like this one is, I'm starting to get the vibe that it's going to be kind of like that, but not as, I don't want to say thought out, but not as well executed.
Okay.
Okay, spoiler alert, if you're listening, pause your ears for a few seconds if you don't want to know the future characters that are coming up with Kai. Evan Peters, they said that he is going to be playing Charles Manson and a few other cult leaders. So I'm thinking maybe is it going to take another twist of like, okay, now he's Charles Manson for 4 episodes, or he's somebody else for 4 episodes.
Experimenting on different cults throughout the years. Yeah,
I think that's got to be what it is going back and kind of showing, you know, like the rise of cult leaders. Because the only way that this really works, I think, is if they make Kai a cult leader and they kind of have the Charles Manson thing where it's like, look, this could be a Charles Manson 2.0. Okay. This is how he got all of his followers. Kai's doing the same thing. I could see them kind of doing that. I hope that it works.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it works too. But I really love this episode, and I feel like they really found the good balance of funny and serious. It was like probably 75% serious and whatever percent, 25% funny. And it was like, okay, that's good.
I don't know.
Let's leave it that way.
I felt there was too much exposition. Like, I don't know. They answered too many questions. It was too much exposition. Now you know who the clowns are. I don't know. I think it was my favorite episode for sure. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I liked the scene where we see Serena too out where she's got, you know, the puppy, and I should have known she was about to die because she was bitching about having to cuddle a puppy. Yeah. And anytime somebody is bitching about a puppy or a kitty, it's like, that bitch is about to die.
Well, I knew she was going to die because in the preview it shows the clown walking up behind her. It's like, what is she going to do, shake her hand? Like they shouldn't have shown that preview. Because I knew that she was going to die just from that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were some things that I felt like, that I thought was my favorite scene, though. I feel like that was the most American Horror Story of all of them, was because it was, we knew something the characters didn't.
Right.
And this season, we haven't seen a lot of that. And we've had, you know, now we have the backstory. We know why Ivy is, you know, letting Winter run amok, basically, is because she's helped her kidnap Gary.
If Ivy knew Winter... Ivy Winters, why did she get mad at Allie when she got, like, her pussy grabbed by Ivy? I mean, by Winter. It's like, shouldn't you go after the girl that you already know? Like,
because
I trusted you.
Well, because
or was it a setup?
I think it's a setup.
Yeah. It is a setup.
I think it's got to be a setup because I feel like Ivy's 100%. She's still not letting the Jill Stein thing go, and apparently that is enough that you can. That's why I feel like, and I get that they're making fun of how everything has gone too extreme, but I felt like this episode was a little too extreme. I love Chaz Bono, so
oh my God,
getting to see him and really dive into acting, that was really cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's like, give me that big check just to sign a little thing next to Trump's name. I can't, mentally I couldn't take it that far.
That's the guy that chopped his arm off.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
If I could turn back time.
Good
Sorry.
for him.
Yeah.
That was
I love
Chaz's
mom.
Yeah. But also he cut his arm off and probably wanted to go back in time.
But if we do go back in time, we see that the first episode, I believe, where you see Allie going into the supermarket, his arm's already chopped off. So you can see how it's like all set it up, and we all know who the clowns are now. So it's like she was set up. It really happened. Yeah. So the videotapes were erased, and yeah.
I did feel like, and I like that they keep doing, because I loved last season when they do the classic horror movie tropes. Like we got like a lot of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and we got like very direct allusions. This one just felt like a very direct Saw allusion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly. Yeah, but it just didn't feel like, it felt like it could have been more. Like, because this was a big moment that kind of ties things together.
Yeah.
And because we saw his arm like bleeding, and you know, like as he's going in to vote and is demanding that he votes while I felt like I would have liked to have that spread out over a couple episodes instead of all in one, because it was, here's the question, immediately here's the answer.
Yeah.
Like all wrapped up. And it's like, you know that I'm going to be watching next week. Give me a little something next week.
Yeah. Mr. Devereaux mentioned the Saw reference in Twitter, and he made like a funny GIF. Like, they are not doing a Saw reference right now, and just
yeah, that's what the second I saw...
He saw it, too.
Yeah.
You and the puns, I love it. The second I saw him tied up to the thing, I knew that there was going to be, like, a saw laying by. I knew that it was going to happen. But for a second, I did think that Ivy was going to cut off his arm, because actually that was the hand that grabbed the pussy. that got sawed off. I was like trying to connect every little thing. Like,
That pussy does grab back.
yes.
Bite your damn hand off.
Basically.
I just would have, and this is such a stupid thing that really does not matter at all. But I'm like, you would have gone into shock and passed out. Somebody needed to be there to cauterize that wound.
Right.
Like, I just wanted to see some sort of, like, something. Like, I know there's no need for the science in American Horror Story, but I'm like, Chaz would have passed out. Also, it's Gary.
Passionate. Yeah, he's too passionate to vote for Trump. That just fills his adrenaline, just voting.
Yeah.
Great for him.
I mean,
So is the season going to be, so we saw how he built his team, so now is it going to be like how he's going to use them?
I'm
basically?
thinking that that's going to be it, the rise to power, because this episode, too, we're getting so many little references to, you know, how women have basically just accepted this kind of rape culture mentality where
Right.
we even have Winter say, I keep a taser with me at all times because everybody's so rape happy on campus.
Yeah.
And it's just like a matter of fact, like nobody is horrified by that. So I think that it's going to be him taking all of these people who have been ostracized, who have been pushed aside, who've been put in these horrible situations, and then saying, look, this is your time to take it back, and using that fear, and we're going to see how this cult grows.
Yeah, using the fear and the humiliation, because they definitely mentioned that several times in this episode.
How humiliated are you?
Yep,
That's
yep.
humiliating. And there's nothing more dangerous than a man who's been embarrassed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like they're really driving that point home.
We have somebody in the chat that says they think that Ivy is the one who set up the camera in the bathroom.
I could see 100%
Yeah.
Ivy being the one
I
because
believe so,
she
too.
wasn't even taken aback
After
that there was
this
a
episode,
camera.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
I think like the next, I think it's gonna be how they're gonna get Allie to join the cult. That's the
Yeah.
only one that's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
against.
That's what I think.
Allie's going to become the
Yeah.
leader. I call
But
it
because
now.
Allie is the one who's so scared, and it's her fear, and they keep talking about fear as power.
And they're building up the rage, not the anger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've already seen Beverly, how
So-
she's saying, yeah, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, from last episode, we saw her cross over from the fear to the anger when she hit Harrison, or was it Meadow? Who did she punch last episode?
She
think
punched
Harrison-
Meadow. She punched Harrison, and it's like, you want it too, bitch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So she's basically becoming inhuman.
Yeah, they're all becoming a little inhuman. And you know what? Support from this podcast actually comes from a brand new show, which is astonishing and is also named Inhuman. Look at
Yes!
that! Marvel's Inhumans is an awesome new show. It's the whole premise is that they're on the dark side of the moon and there's this civilization that exists, but they're having to go back to their real home, Earth.
Oh, yes.
And basically, shenanigans ensue. It's really awesome. It's the people who have brought us a lot of the Marvel shows, so I'm excited to see Inhumans. I think this one is going to be really, really good. It's going to premiere. It's a 2-hour, special 2-hour premiere.
Get your snacks.
Yes! Friday, September 29th at 8/7 Central on ABC. So be sure to check that out. You can see all about this really amazing show. It looks really good. It's about this family that is being teleported. They've got, the Medusa is the queen.
Oh, I'm watching for Medusa.
Anybody
I'm
who
watching
can
for
weaponize their
Medusa.
hair, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here for it. That's some killer hair.
Yeah.
Legit. Legit. So if you guys want to check that out, again, that is on Friday, September 29th at 8/7 Central on ABC.
I'll be watching.
Yes. And you can also check out some inhuman clown people on American Horror Story Cults because it
Yeah.
seems like we're going to have more and more and more of them.
Oh,
And now
yes.
that we're getting the whole backstory of Meadow making the sketch, I just want like a Deadpool-esque costume design montage where they're just like making their awesome clown costumes. And they're
I
just,
think
like,
that's what we're going to
joking.
get. We're going to get like a Catwoman thing going on with the cat.
Yes,
Like, we're gonna get that.
I want it. I don't
Yeah.
know why I'm super into it. Maybe it's because I love,
wait, so
Marvel
really
and
quickly,
things like that.
now that we know who's the clowns, who do you think is who is what clown?
Oh,
Like, who do you
that's
think
easy.
is the person with the?
Ivy is definitely
Girl in the dress.
girl clown with the stripes.
Yeah.
That-
Okay,
yeah.
I
With the
thought that was
bob,
Meadow.
with the dark bob is Meadow. The
Yeah.
one with the 3 faces is Harrison because when he was killing Emma Roberts' character, you saw the back of his. I saw the hair in the back, and plus it makes sense. Like 3 faces. He's married to a girl, and he's gay, and I'm sure he has like this innocent side. I was just picking on that. Picking up on that.
Yeah.
I was thinking
whatever
that was
face he
Kai.
shows to the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it
No,
was Kai too. But...
Kai is the one who told Ozzy to go back to sleep. That was just the.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I think that one was Kai.
I think Kai was the one who was jacking it in the restaurant because we all know how much he loves jacking it.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right. I wonder if Harrison when he cleans it up.
He's like, Harrison, clean this up. Clean up aisle 4.
Oh my god. Why aisle 4?
And then, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm getting. I still don't get the reference.
Four letters and jizz.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. But I wanted to see what aisle number that Gary was on when he was attacked. I was like, is it aisle 4?
Oh,
Is it aisle 4? They're going to clean up aisle 4?
have to
They're going
watch
to
it
take
back.
it down? But I think I was just looking for things that weren't there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that we look for certain things to connect, and then they already answer. That's what they did with this episode. They already answered it for us. So it's like, oh,
Right.
great. Now I can't wonder about it for the next week.
Yeah, that's and I know a lot of people, we've gotten some feedback on the show. Some people have said that we're a little too hard on it at some points. But the issue that I have with this season, and that I'm hoping, and this episode I feel like we're starting to get a little bit more of, but I'm hoping that it just becomes a little bit more cohesive and that there's some more references and some deeper meaning instead of just everything is so absurd. Look how absurd everybody is.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's harsh. It's we're fans of the show. You're constructive of it because you want it to be good. So I don't think it's
Tough love, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, we just got to tell it like
We're
it
the
is.
most critical of the things we love the most.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love
'cause
the
how
show.
would we be if we all sat up here and said everything was perfect?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like
And
you gotta
people
be
would be
real.
complaining.
Yep.
So
Yeah, no
It's
matter
boring.
what, there's always
Okay.
a complaint. No matter what.
we love you guys. Thank you guys
Yeah.
for joining us in the chat.
Yeah.
Yes.
People
Thank
in
everybody
here.
for joining
But
us
it-
on the chat. And
Yeah.
also on Twitter and online. And
Yes. you
make
guys are
sure
great.
that everybody comments because we love hearing your comments. Even if you don't agree with us, that's fine. We just like
That's
hearing
fine.
from
Yeah,
you.
we love to debate. So bring something up for us to debate about for
We'll
the
be
next
like
episode or
Kai
something.
and we'll be master debaters.
Yeah, with you
I
tonight.
need a drum for you.
I need
tonight.
some Taco Bell. That's what I
Just crickets. Just crickets in the
I
background.
live for it.
Yeah!
I wonder if they heard it. Did they hear it?
Yes.
Oh. I love it.
So we've got a few more minutes before we have to wrap up
Yeah.
here. I want to know your prediction.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking for next week?
Well, I'm taking a little clip from the preview episode for next season where Kai, what did he say? He said something to the terms of making me believe that he's going to make them do all bad things and be like, they're the murderers, see? They're crazy, but set them up to do that. He said some line, I can't remember it verbatim, but he said something about, I'm going to expose the killers or something like that. And I was just like, he's going to set them up to make them look crazy and he's going to be the hero.
That's what I think too, because if you think about it from what we've seen so far, and now that we know who the clown gang is, his hands aren't really that dirty in a lot of stuff. So I agree with you. I think that he's gonna kind of just let them do all the dirty work, and he's gonna sit back and he's gonna be the one walking around with the crown at the end.
Which is kind of like the Saw reference. Like Jigsaw never killed anybody; he made them do it themselves.
Yeah.
That's a really good. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that, especially too since we see Beverly say when they found Vinny's head that there was an anonymous tip that was called in, and we're like, Kai did it.
Yep.
And also, really quickly about that website that why am I forgetting everybody's names today?
The Scared to Death.
Winter. Yes, don't you guys think that that's the website that they've created?
Oh,
Because I saw
100%.
something on for the next episode. They were talking about fake news. So I think
Beverly,
this is,
when they're saying stop reporting fake news.
this is something that they created.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Because how else would the video of them in the bathroom get on there?
Yeah.
And then I'm sure on that website you're gonna see the murder of Vinny, probably the
see
murder
all
of.
that.
I don't know if this is happening yet, but I'm sure Bob the boss is gonna die. The anchor, I'm sure he's gonna die soon.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
see the murder of because Beverly's like, oh, the clips we haven't put them out to the public yet, but I've seen them. So all those clips are gonna be on that website to incriminate everybody but Kai.
And Kai deleted the security footage, but
Right.
He probably
No,
saved
he
it.
kept those
Yeah.
receipts.
he kept the receipts.
He kept those receipts.
I think think, like I said about Allie, they're going to try and get her over. And there's going to be something with the psychiatrist. I feel like maybe that's how he's figuring out who to pick. Like, he didn't just pick Harrison out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So maybe they all go to the same psychiatrist.
We saw him with those pills, the pill bottles, so it could be possible.
Taking
Yeah, who
Adderall.
prescribed him the pills?
I
Yeah.
think
We
he's
gotta
the
find out.
mastermind. Kai is just the one who's doing all the work for him, though.
Just for his Adderall. Because I read it was
Yeah.
Adderall. I didn't read the doctor.
I didn't get to see the doctor either. So, you know what? That makes
So
sense.
Kai is basically like, I'll do all your dirty work, just
the
give
one-
me this Adderall.
Yeah, probably.
Basically.
I mean, I could see that maybe.
I mean,
I think that probably the psychiatrist does. I think that he's in on it, but that he comes in on it later. Like, I think Kai somehow infiltrates and like takes all of his stuff and kind of manipulates his psychiatrist, because a lot of highly intelligent people that also show kind of sociopathic tendencies will see, you know, when they're doing their psychiatry sessions, aren't actually trying to get help. They're trying to manipulate situations. So we could see that
Okay.
Yeah.
where, you know, it's like a court-ordered thing or he's sent to this psychiatrist. I don't know. I'm interested to see how the psychiatrist ties in, though. I think you're onto something, Kelly.
He's the only one we didn't really get answers for today.
Yeah, I agree. And I want to see some more, like, cool referencey things, because one thing that you found that I really, really liked was that you were noticing in the production design all of the honeycombs.
Yeah, inside the house of Allie and Ivy's house, it's like very honeycomb-esque. It has like the diamonds, they have the colors. It's just very like, why aren't you freaking out in your own home? Like, if you really pay attention, it looks a little bit scary. Like
With all of the
the wickers
porishness.
and the couch, and then at the restaurant, the windows to the getting into the back is like diamond shaped and stuff, and
I
like
get
just.
I feel like it's the reference to this hive mentality, and we keep seeing all of the bee references and everything, which I think will tie in, or could just be an awesome plug to watch our AfterBuzz TV after show with all of our
Oh,
buzzy
yeah.
nights.
There we go.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, before we're back here next week talking about some more American Horror Story, where can the fans keep up with you guys?
Well, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at Just Sans World. And just to shout out, this Thursday we will have Will and Grace after show at 7 o'clock. So make sure to tune in if you're a fan of Will and Grace. I know there's two extremes, but hey, I'm a fan of both. But yeah, make sure to check it out.
Who doesn't like Will and Grace?
Oh yeah.
So good.
And I'm Ashley Allen. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley Reed Allen.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Holly Weirdo. And SNL's coming back, so I'm doing that after show on Sunday. So tune in for that. Ryan Gosling.
Nice.
Yes.
And I'm Alana Jordan. You can find me on Instagram at That Alana Jordan Girl and on Twitter at Alana Jordan. And quick shout out to Jeremy Z, following us on Twitter, giving us all of his awesome opinions. I promised I would shout you out. So at Jeremy with a Z.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey.
Thanks for watching.
Hey.
Thank all you guys for watching. You can keep up with us on AfterBuzz TV on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Rate, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff, and then join us back here next week.
Yes. See you next
Bye,
week.
guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.